Laurence on the call this evening. We do appreciate that it is at 7 p.m. and it is a very impromptu one. However, it is needed for the team. We're midweek through the month. Think about the goals that you wrote down. Have you actually achieved them so far? Be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm just going to meet you, my darling. The reason why that this is happening is because of the duplication process. We are not duplicating in the team. I've had a look at the figures for this month and I can see that we are not duplicating on the team. And fortunately for us and for all of the members within this team, we have Laurence with us. And also what we fortunately have as well is that we have Darryl and Maria from America. Now, Darryl has just joined this webinar. Darryl, can you hear me?
Yeah, give me one quick second.
Not a problem, not a problem at all. For those of you that don't know who Darryl is one of the top earners within this company.
No, I don't want to.
Him and his wife are the most amazing couple to work with. They give us so much of their time, and considering their status within the company, the amount of time that they give us, and you can see right now he's on an impromptu call with us. And tonight I'm actually going to ask him a few questions, and I do hope that you've got pen and paper. Has everybody got pen and paper ready? Okay, I'm just going to ask a question. Laurence has got his pen up. Everyone else, let's actually have a look. Have you got your pen and paper ready? Let's have a look. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I love the fact that Lisa is just smiling all the time. So you guys obviously know that I brought this to the UK and that I was the first person to bring this to the UK. And you guys know that I love this company, and the story that I got with this company is absolutely amazing. But the story that I've got with this company is nothing compared to what Darryl has got. As I say, Darryl is one of the top earners in this company, and it's an absolute blessing and an honour that he actually works with us. So Darryl, I want to ask you a few questions. Do you mind me asking how long you've actually been in the business?
It's been about 2.5, almost 3 years with this company. Yes. Hey everybody.
Darryl.
Hi.
3 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me 1 second, even I'm writing that down. So you've been in this company 3 years, and do you mind me asking, because obviously we are in your team, I've never asked you this before, how big's your team? How many members have you got?
Probably about 7,000. I really don't know. I'm guessing that's the number, roughly around 7,000.
So you've got about 7,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just so you know, when I first started, I was still on retirement. I mean, we've been in retirement mode for forever, for several years now. And when we first started, we definitely did what we need to do to get off to a fast start and get some momentum and some things going. But it was my son's, high school year, and especially the last couple of years. He's been in high school. He just graduated a year ago. So my whole focus in life at that point in time was to be at every baseball game. And he had baseball games literally all over the country. And he was playing all the time. And he was highly recruited from a scout standpoint, from a pro perspective. And colleges were constantly calling, coming over, doing all that. So even the last 3 years, I've been in baseball mode with my son and Maria, just doing that. Now, obviously, we built the business and we did some things, but I did it kind of with one hand tied behind my back because, I put it this way. When Aaron had a game, let's say there was a game tomorrow, I was more excited and more energized and couldn't sleep than he was. I was fidgety, and we had the game tomorrow. We're playing against Bishop Gorman, and I just couldn't sleep. So it was that way for his whole high school season. I was there. So yes, I was here. We were putting in some time, but my number one was baseball.
Wow. Wow. do you know, I'm loving hearing this because I've never ever asked you these questions before, and we've worked together for 18 months, and I cannot believe it's taken me 18 months to get a piece of paper out and actually interview you in front of everyone, because that's what I'm doing. I'm putting you on the spot. So with your hand, with one hand tied behind your back, out of curiosity, how many countries are you in?
Probably every country that we're in. We have people in almost every country.
So every country that this company is in, you have got a member in that country?
For the most part, yeah. There may be one or two missing, etc. But my favorite country is the UK.
And you haven't even been here yet, but we're going to make that.
Wait a minute.
We're going to make that happen.
Did you hear what I said? I said my favorite country is the UK, and I got one excited person on here. So thanks, Lottie.
Well, you know, you can tell that Lottie is #1 fan.
No, I'm just having some fun with you, but yeah, there's people all over the country, all over the world, and again, I didn't know any of these people. Somebody that I signed someone that signed someone. I didn't particularly call anybody in any country and say, hey, I've got, would you like to travel for pennies on the dollar? If you do, let me know. Are you open to making some money outside of what you currently do? I never did that on an international basis, but just doing it locally turns into nationally, turns into one country. Somebody knows someone that knows someone that knows someone, and 99% of those people, 95% of those people, I've never even met yet. I don't even know, but because of the networking, you tell a few that tell a few that tell a few. And I mean, that's how networking works for those that stay long enough, that are consistent enough to get to that point. And I'm definitely consistent. There's no question about it.
Oh yeah, you are. And talking about consistency, there's one thing that I've noticed over the last 6 weeks is that we keep seeing you in these different dream vacations. So my question is, how many dream vacations have you and Maria actually been on?
Well, you know, we're professional dream vacation testers for the company, right? Resort tester. I'm just kidding when I say that, but I don't know, probably it hasn't been many, maybe 10, you know, give or take. The other program that it's probably even far exceeds that. The vacations have just been recently, but the one that precedes that is in the U.S. And I know it's tough for me even trying to talk about this with you guys because the travel agent program is only here in the U.S. and Maria books lots of travel. Matter of fact, for baseball teams coming in and out of Vegas, which Vegas is a huge hub for baseball. You know, from the little kids up to the high school kids, even the softball for 60 and 70-year-olds are still playing softball. So it's a mecca for baseball. So Maria, obviously she got involved in the travel industry, and because we were so heavily involved in baseball, she knew lots of the coaches and got a chance to get familiar with, the teams, et cetera. And she started booking travel, booking teams coming in to Vegas. And that was a huge business for her. So I think I lost my train of thought. Where was I going on that? But the savings. So yeah, it was from the resort. My producer helped me out with one more time. I don't know if you guys heard her in the back tell me the savings there. You're talking about the savings. So we were talking about resorts, but with the travel agent savings, we have a program with the Marriott. So you can actually, in the U.S., if you're a U.S. citizen, you can be a travel agent and take the test to be a Marriott certified. And I'll give an example. His senior summer, or the summer after he graduated, he was on a collegiate team of all freshmen that were going, next fall into, D1 college, Pac-12, one of those type of schools, and I think even some SEC type of schools. So we were traveling in the Bay Area the whole summer. It was 25 days, nights we stayed there. I mean, we'd go back and forth home, but sometimes we'd be there for, a few days. Sometimes we'd be there for a week or so. We spent 25 nights in the Bay Area at Marriott. And in the Bay Area, it's a pretty expensive area to live in, and hotels, you have to write it. The hotels are, pretty expensive, but average about 185 bucks. Some of them were up to 350, etc. But because of our Marriott status, we stayed for like $61 per night. That's what we averaged. Probably 99% of the hotels we stayed at, whether it was 350 or whether it was 185 normal. So we ended up spending just 1,500 bucks that summer in hotel stays, 25 different nights in the hotel stays in the San Francisco Bay Area. And regular, that would have cost us, over $4,000 plus. So we figured out we saved about $3,100. So again, a lot of times we were just hotels, the dreamcations, and now what they're calling them getaways, that came a little bit later. We've had them, but they've just been evolving. I was with a couple travel companies back in the day, a couple decades ago. And just like those companies, they evolved from having a couple of this to a couple of those, and then the hundreds and then thousands. And we're on that same track, but our product offering is much better. And as more people expand around the country and around the world that say, hey, we need to work on this area, we need to do something in this area, I could see, literally thousands and thousands and thousands of dreamcations. And just like this year closing out, we have about 5 or 6 more of the world tours. That's going to be huge for this company. People haven't really understood that yet. Some have, but next year there's going to be about 30 world tours. I could see 3-4 years from now, there's 200, 300, 400 world tours. And those are the ones like at the Wynn, et cetera, Tenerife in Spain, and the one that's in Florida, and others that have already happened. So it's just evolving. And, sometimes you start just in life. Marie and I are having our 25th anniversary to Saturday. And it's just like you start at a certain point, just she and I, and now we have a whole family, and things just grow and get bigger and that. So that's the same thing with this business. So I'm excited about the future and what Dave is doing and the input that he takes from others. And we're right where we're supposed to be right now. And that's moving in the right direction and going up.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you anymore. Now, you might need to get your beautiful lady just to close her ears for a couple of minutes for us, because obviously you're talking about your anniversary, and well done to you, 25 years. I mean, most people can't get past 2, so well done. I don't know how you guys done that. That's an amazing achievement.
Love.
Love. Yeah, okay. You don't need to say any more, Darryl. However, you guys were away recently, if I remember rightly, and it was Maria's birthday, and you was in the Cosmos Hotel. So talking about obviously the fact that you guys have, predominantly you was in hotels before you was doing the dream vacations. Are you still finding, in comparison to what you did back then to what you're doing now, that you're still getting the same sort of savings, the same sort of luxuries of the hotels?
Sure. We didn't, this last time at the Cosmo, obviously that wasn't a Marriott property, but a lot of people don't realize Sheraton's are Marriott properties, and Ritz-Carlton's are Marriott properties, Westin's are Marriott properties. So we haven't done, that was the first time we've stayed actually at a hotel for a long period of time. I mean, we do the resorts and that, but that was one of the more recently ones. And I believe when Maria did the research in the back office, the net area of our site, it was, we got it for like $400 for 4 days and 3 nights. And it wasn't just the average room. It was one with the extended terrace and yada, 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 whatever you want to call it. It was a nice room. And the regular price was just shy of $900. So it was over $400 and some dollars we saved. And the hotel was packed, lots of people, parking lot. All of that stuff was pretty amazing. So the answer is yes. We have a great deal.
I love it. And I saw the pictures of that, and oh my God, I mean, it was absolutely exquisite what you guys showed us, which is obviously why I asked the question. So obviously we've got the team on here today, and Darryl, you last night when we were talking, you was dropping some serious golden nuggets with me, hence why obviously I wanted to have this call with you today in front of everybody. So if you and Maria was on a train and you had 2 minutes to your next stop, what would be your elevator pitch before you got off the train?
See, this is tough when you ask me little questions like that. I get to meet people, and a lot of times when I meet somebody, it's all about them. I just, hey, it's a great tie you got on, a great shirt, and whatever. I get a conversation going, and just say something complimentary, and obviously you try and find something that's real. I don't want to just fabricate it, make it up. And in every situation, you can find something that you legitimately think or appreciate with an individual. And then if I start the conversation, a lot of times I find out what they do. And hey, well, what do you do, if you don't mind me asking? And then everybody normally tells you. 99% of people will actually tell you what they actually do. And then it's something about that reciprocal process, that reciprocity. When you do something for someone else, they're going to ask you the same question back. And they'll ask me a question back. And I still keep it very, very simple. I help people travel and save money every time that they travel. And those people that want to make serious money, I show them how to do that in the travel industry. But then I get right off of that. I mean, it's literally that quick. I don't really get into it. My whole objective is to find out more about them. Hey, you got kids in baseball? My son plays baseball. And a lot of times you find out that they either had kids in baseball, or they do have in baseball, or I find out other things about them. In other words, I'm just locking in information about them. As much information as I can get: kids, wife, husband, whatever the case may be. And then what I do best is I follow up with people. I don't try and pitch them right there at that spot. I try and get their cards, which most times I do. And if they don't have a card, I ask them, what is the best number that I can get back in touch with you that's not your work? That's not your work or your home phone number. So I ask them, hey, what's the best number I can get back with you that's not your work and your home number? Well, guess which number they're going to give you? They're going to give you their cell number. Now, that was more prevalent, back in the day when people had a home and cell. But a lot of folks in America only have their cell phones. Very, very rarely do you have people now that have a home phone and a cell phone. But that's the way I used to do it from that perspective. Then I would text them, I'd follow back up with the individual. And then, after I accumulated a lot of information, I would regurgitate that information back to them. Hey, how's your son doing? Whatever we actually talked about, I would put it on them. And then I'd ask them my question. And again, that varies from person to person, but that's kind of how I learned how to progress in this industry, not just to, jump on people, especially a stranger I just met. I'm not talking about sitting there for 2 months trying to build a relationship, but at least for 2 minutes.
Okay, I love that, for 2 minutes. Yeah, that's it. You've got to have that cut-off rule, haven't you? You've got to, because if not, you just go around in circles. So I want to ask you this, because I'm always privileged to have conversations and phone calls with you, and you always give me the best advice. You and Maria are just absolute legends to me. But if you could give this team the best single advice ever, what would it be?
Well, guys, I say this all the time. I'm about as basic as you come. I'm just a regular average kid that I saw 30 years ago that when I graduated from school, I do have a communications degree. I still had to work on the way I speak, and the communication degree, you learn certain things, but what I do now has come because of this industry, not necessarily because of the degree that I received many, many years ago. I was working for $1 billion pharmaceutical company, and for about 6 months. And during that time, I just couldn't see myself doing that or working at a regular job for the rest of my life. I didn't know anything about direct sales, nothing about network marketing at that time, but I just knew I did not want to do that. I mean, I was working with people that had been there for 20 years, 25 years, 10 years ahead of me, et cetera. When you join a company, there's already established group of people. And I just looked financially at what they were doing. And I got to do this for 30 or 40 years. And it just drained me just even thinking about it. And it was just, when you start thinking like that, I got to find something out. I got to do something different. And at that time, I couldn't buy $1 million McDonald's franchise. And, that just wasn't in the cards. But I ended up getting invited to a presentation, and I was still almost lost the opportunity there because, in school, even though, there's something else out there, but they say, hey, get a good education, get a great job. And as long as you got Blue Cross Blue Shield, that's the medical people out here, one of them, then you're fine. And that was kind of the thought process. But I still wanted something else. I knew I didn't want to do that. And so I went to this presentation. At that time, they were drawing circles on a, chalkboard, whiteboard, et cetera. Didn't have the computers and things we have today, obviously. And they were telling some amazing stories about what was going on and this and that, but that wasn't what I thought I was looking for because I didn't get that. Was not in my understanding. I was indoctrinated to go to school, get a job, work for a company. Even though I was fighting that was what my mentality was. And then I was getting ready to leave the meeting. I was just okay, this is not for me, and I'm ready to slip out the back door. But there was a guy there that changed my life to this day. He stood up and he was talking, and he said, in the United States of America, richest country on the planet Earth, at age 65, 95% of everyone is dead or dead broke. And then I looked at family situations, church people situations, and I quickly realized, and I checked statistics out, that was an accurate statement. And I knew then that if the tradition was to 65 dead or dead broke, I didn't want to have anything to do with that. And that's when I perked up and started listening, started asking questions, and the rest is still being written right now.
Wow. Do you know what? That is so powerful, Darryl. And it's so, so true. Even in the UK, it's not just the USA, it's worldwide. It is 65, you are either dead or broke. It's true. And thank you for sharing that, because you've just made me think, my God, I've got 18 years left. That's not long.
Yeah.
That's not long. So I think what we need to do is we need to make sure that everybody on this call doesn't end up a statistic like that at the age of 65 years old.
Well, and let me answer the question too. I forgot I got off on that tangent, but it was important. But the thing about me, again, like I was saying, I was basic, just a basic guy, right? But here's the keys to success. If I had to pick one, and maybe two things, and they kind of coexist together, it would be you have to have a desire. I mean, a true desire. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to do it today. And when you look back, and I look at, if I could pick one or two different things, it would be having a desire to win, to succeed, to go to the next level. And then to make that happen, you have to have unbelievable reasons. I'm going to share with you guys at one of the events coming up in the future, this year or next year. You guys are going to know that when I say that, it's 100% true, because again, I'll show you up close and personal, but I'll just say it right now. Not what I'm going to show you, but I'll say it right now. Some of you may start figuring it out soon as we continue to work together. But at the end of the day, if you have reasons why you want to do something, there is nothing on God's green earth that will stop you from doing it. Nothing. If you are so pumped up and fired up and you've got the reasons, they say, if your why has to make you cry. And whether that does or not, I think your why has to make you get off your butt and go to work and realize there are ups and downs. You're going to go through those ups and downs. And that's just part of growing a business. People will get in, they'll quit. People won't sign up. And you show them how they can go to Vegas for $199 for 4 days and 3 days. And you think something wrong with you. But if you have enough why and reason that I am going to the top, here's my reasons, and it is a solid reason, nothing will stop you. And you need to have that, because you're going to run into people. You're going to run into obstacles that are going to block and stop you. But if I could boil it down into that, those would be it. I had some good training in the beginning, but at the end of the day, it's up to me. My son Aaron had some good training as well. But if he and I didn't spend extra hours swinging the bat, perfecting, watching videos, and instead of watching cartoons and TV, he was working on this instead of being on his phone and watching games and all that stuff. he wouldn't have got the opportunities he's gotten now. And I look at the people that started the same with Aaron, and then how he just expanded. And it was only because he put in the time, the effort, and he had times where he failed. And in this industry over the 30 years, we've had times where we've absolutely failed. That's part and parcel of the deal. But because my reasons were so big, I just dust myself off. I get up, I readjust, I weigh, count, measure, and see what I did right, what I did wrong, what can I improve on, what book can I get access to, this or that. And I'm telling you, if you're looking for a secret, there is no secret. Let me be clear on that. But if you have a desire to win, if you have a reason why you want to make this happen, and it's serious, and then you want to add in, be consistent, and some of those other things, but that's it for me. If I didn't do what I did back in the day because I had reasons to make it happen when I could have quit 1,000 different times, like most people end up doing, I wouldn't be here talking to, you amazing folks here across the pond.
I'm so glad you never quit, because had you quit, I've never met you.
Me too.
I would be gutted. I would be gutted not to have met you. And talking about another man that is very, very special, to come to the team, taken a good look at a few things, and has decided that there's a few things that we need to change. So thank you to every single one of you that is on this call right now, because clearly you are determined to make change in your life. So I'm actually going to mute myself, and Laurence is going to completely take over this call. Laurence, thank you very, very much. And for those of you that don't know Laurence on this call, make sure you do know who Laurence is, because this is a man that changed people's lives. He doesn't just talk about it, he does it. Laurence, over to you, my darling.
Kind words. Thank you, Sam. Darryl, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for those great words. Guys, Darryl and I actually haven't spoken today or yesterday, but you're going to hear some of the things that Darryl just said is going to be repetitive. And I think that's because we both come from a similar background. For those that don't know you, I built traditional businesses and I built a network marketing business. My current, previous business to this, I had 12,500 people in it. So we've learned a few lessons, we bumped our head a few times. And, all we can do is share with you our knowledge. Sam, could you make me the host, please? While Sam's making me the host, guys, a couple of comments that Darryl made, which is so, so important. And we're going to touch on this as we go through, but your why is so very, very important. You've got to know your why. You've got to know why you're doing this business. You've got to know, is it for your family? What is it for? My why, I'll share my why with you. I don't mind. And my why constantly changes. And your why should also constantly change. When I first came into network marketing, I came in because my kids were small and I wanted to travel the world. And I was with a completely different business. But network marketing gave me that extra income to go out there and prove to my kids, my family, that we can have all those extras that we did. And I'm pretty well traveled, guys. I've been to 42 countries in the world, and some of those countries I've been to 15, 16, 17, and 18 times. So, my why worked pretty well for me. My why today is I want to move back to the sun. I want to, when I'm old enough to retire, and with this gray hair, it's not long to go, I want to retire back to the sun. I want extra money. I want to be able to enjoy the finer things in life. So my first message that I'm going to give to you guys this evening is stop. Right this moment, stop. I want you to stop and clear your mind for a few seconds. I want you to stop plotting and planning. I want you to stop researching. And I want you to stop overcomplicating what is really a very easy business. So guys, I'm going to repeat that. I want you to stop plotting and planning. I want you to stop researching. I want you to stop overcomplicating. What I want you to start, please start for your sake. Start taking positive steps every single day. It doesn't matter how big those steps are. It doesn't matter how small those steps are. Just take a positive step every single day. Get started, guys. Get started. Make that phone call. Contact someone on Facebook. Speak to that stranger. Open those conversations. Darryl told you this a few minutes ago. Darryl opens conversations. I love your shirt. Your tie looks great. Wow, that's a fantastic handbag. Geez, your dog is beautiful. Open conversation. Start speaking to people. Again, know your why. Do you know your story? What is your story? So my why is that I actually want to have a good retirement. My why is that I want to go back to the sunshine. But my story is completely different. My story is my background, where I came from, the people I know, my things I've done in my life, where I visited, my children, my son's sport, my daughter's getting married and living in Dubai. You've got to know your story, and you've got to know your story quite well. And then most importantly, people buy from people. And Darryl touched on this as well. People buy from people. When Darryl spoke a few minutes ago, Darryl said that he starts a conversation. He then tells the people a little bit about the business, but then he moves away from the business and he follows up and he talks to the people about them. He gets to know the people. Guys, people buy people. Your product is secondary. And we're very, very lucky in this business that David has produced such a magnificent, such a superb product. You know, he's been going since 2013, and there is nothing negative on the internet. So don't worry about the product. Worry about your ability to tell your story, your ability to know your why, because people buy people. Now you've got to learn. This is a special skill to learn. You've got to learn to say less to more people. You've got to open more conversations. And then please, guys, and this isn't a nasty word, but don't verbally vomit on people. You have to learn to say less. What we're wanting to do. Guys, a quick show of hands. Who thinks Darryl is awesome? I'll show both hands. Okay. Why would you want to sell to your customer if Darryl was willing to help you and get on a Zoom call? Surely you would edify Darryl. And you haven't even met Maria. Maria is unbelievable. So why would you want to try and struggle through a presentation when you can call on other leaders who know the product a little bit better than you? And your turn will come. You will learn the product. Edify your leaders, get them onto a Zoom call, let them help you. So guys, before I move off this slide, write that down. Say less to more people. Stop overcomplicating an easy system. Guys, I take my hat off to Sam. Last night after Sam finished her training, I had a few things to say to Sam, which a lot of people would have taken wrong. And I admire Sam for taking it on the chin, turning around and saying, I want to learn. And the only reason that I know certain things about training and Darryl knows certain things about training is because we've been in this industry for a long, long time. And we've seen some of the masters in the industry do it. We know the Todd Falcones. We know the Eric Worreys. We've seen how they pitch these businesses. Other people on this call, like Jacques Later, he's seen it as well. He's been to Las Vegas and he's been to the shows. So guys, they will tell you, if you go to any of these top speakers, don't overcomplicate, especially when you've got an easy system. We have a very easy system. So don't try and become a travel agent, right? Make sure that people buy from you. People buy from people, and then sell them the product. Let them go and search their holidays. Don't search their holidays for them. Stay focused. What is the first thing you want to do in this business? Lisa has just joined us. Lisa's sole goal must be 3 people. Her goal must not be to match Darryl with 7,000 people, because she will drown in the deep water on the way there. She has to find 3 people. Jacques has to find 3 people. Vanessa has to find 3 people. And everyone else on this call, 3 people. That has to be your core focus. And I know Darryl will agree with me. Some people come into this business and they find their 3 people in 24 hours. And other people find their 3 people in 10 months. It matters not your journey. It's your destination that counts. But don't lose sight. Your initial goal is 3 people. Once 3 people are finished, then we start looking at 8 people and 8 people. But your first goal is 3 people. And then when you bring new people onto the business, it's helping them get 3 people. Because what we're showing you here tonight is how to duplicate a system. Sell local. I wanted to use Kevin as an example tonight. Kevin knows I've spoken to him, but Kevin's only just started in this business, and he wants to go to South Africa, and he wants to go to Dubai, and he wants to sell all over the world. Guys, your initial 3 to 10 people are within a 50-mile radius of you. Look for people you can go and have coffee with. Look for people you can go and have meetings with. Look for people who you can communicate with, people who know you. So very important, your 50-mile radius when you first get started. And you know what? How many of you have been outside your own front door and those 10 houses in front of you and gone and told your story to those 10 houses? Why do we want to go and sell in Edinburgh if we live down in Brighton? Got to stay local. Your first 10 sales will be within your Facebook community. Your first 10 sales will be friends and family. Now what you've got to do is you've got to get interested. And Darryl correctly said this. He said he gets interested in people. Guys, there's a big difference between becoming interested and interesting, right? Being interested is taking an hour every day on Facebook, going and loving people's photos, going and caring for people's photos, going and commenting on people's photos. How can I expect Vanessa to comment on my photo if I don't show her any time or any care, and I don't ever go to her photos? Business is reciprocal. People are reciprocal. So you've got to be interested to be interesting. Very, very important. Take that hour a day, search through Facebook. Look when someone puts a photo up on Facebook, they put up a photo. Doesn't matter if you know that is XYZ, Table Mountain. Doesn't matter you know that's Table Mountain. All you're after is starting conversation. Hey, Charlie, saw that photo with you and your wife. What an amazing view. Where was that? Doesn't matter that you know it was Cape Town. He or she will respond, oh, that was our holiday last year. It was in Cape Town. Oh, what mountain was that? Oh, it was Table Mountain. You've started a conversation. Do not be the expert. Let us sell for you, guys. Let us jump onto a presentation and sell for you, because we've done it before. Let us come on, edify us. Let me introduce you to one of my leaders. He's got a big team. He's got a this, she's got a that. She's the biggest earner in England. Edify the person, put them onto a presentation. Let us do the sales for you. And it works. It really does work. Jacques, you're sitting down there, show of hands. When you edified me onto a couple of calls, did it work? Okay, guys, it works. There's no doubt about it, it works. Don't be the expert. Ask us to come on to a Zoom call. We'll go into a Zoom call. We're happy to do it. We're growing our team. This is, even though there's an I in this business, we are still a team because we all benefit out of the different legs. So very, very important to get us involved. Start conversations, pique interest. Exactly what I was saying a few minutes ago. Take your time, go through Facebook, ask questions. Whenever you ask questions, people come back to you. One of the things that really works well for me in messaging is don't go straight away and say to someone, are you willing to have a look at my video? Ask people for help, especially if you know them. Hey, Tracy, I really respect your knowledge in the industry. I really respect your knowledge in marketing. I really respect your ability in sales. Would you mind having a look at something? I need your help. I need your opinion. You'll be surprised how many people, if you ask for help, will give you help. So don't be scared to ask. That's what friends are there for anyway. Edify your leaders, as we spoke, and presentation time. Very, very important. Edify, peak and pass. Follow the system, guys. That word duplication, probably the most important word in this entire presentation, because duplication builds big businesses. Because remember, Darryl has got a team of 7,000 people. He can't have this one-to-one training with every single person on an individual basis. There's not enough hours in the day. So Darryl has to have a system and rely on the system, that the system allows duplication. And we have to do the same. When we're starting off small and we get our first 3 people, we have to help those three people get 3 people. If we help those 3 people get 3 people, we suddenly have 9 people in the team. We help those 9 people get 3 people, we're suddenly on 27 people. We do it again, we're up to almost 100. We do it again, we're up to 300. We do it again, we're up to 900. Before you know it, you're into the thousands. So we have to help the people. 3 people get 3 people. Duplication builds big businesses. If you want to see my presentation tomorrow, guys, I do not record my presentation. So please, guys, don't even ask me for it. I do not believe in recorded presentations. Tomorrow night, we're going to do a special presentation for the entire group. I won't do it. Tomorrow night, I'm going to do it. There's 4 pictures from my presentation down the bottom there, guys, just to give you an indication. We've taken time, we've taken effort. I've produced what I believe is a really good presentation. It's not recorded. It typically will take me 17 minutes to do my entire pitch. I'm going to ask Sam if she can open a webinar for tomorrow, and she can invite every single person in the team, and I'm happy to go through the presentation. And therefore, you can see what we're doing, how we're doing it. And the reason I do one-to-one presentations is I find it so easy to close when I'm referring to the person by name. So guys, I thank you very much for your time. Sam, over to you. Hopefully everyone's learned a little bit. And back to you, Sam.
Thank you very much, Laurence. That was amazing. It really, really was. And I want to thank every single one of you for coming on the call tonight. Laurence, just need to ask you one question. What time tomorrow?
What time would you like to do, Sam?
Whatever time, I don't mind. I'm cool to go, but it's just like, you're saying let's do this tomorrow, but I need a time, because if we're going to get a link out, we need a time. So I knew that we had people that wanted 8 o'clock, and I know we had people that wanted 7 o'clock. So we have got an international group here. So I'm happy to do whatever time, really. What time do you, Jax, I'll tell you what, I'm going to put you on the spot. What time do you want?
8 o'clock was good.
Okay, 8 o'clock it is then.
Thanks very much.
Not a problem. If I can't make a decision, I'll ask someone to make it for me. Quite simple, it is teamwork. So on that note, we will see you all tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and please make sure you bring everybody that you love and care about. And there is one thing I am going to say to you as well. I have seen this. I've seen this presentation, and I recommend strongly that whatever you're doing at 8 o'clock tomorrow, you cancel it and make sure you're on this call for 20 minutes, because it's going to be the best 20 minutes of your business time you've ever had. So we need to take this to another level, to go and tell your team to cancel what they're doing and give us 20 minutes of their time tomorrow, and then we go. On that note, thank you very much, everybody. I'll see you at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Bye-bye.